Greetings, class. Let's begin. So this past weekend, I had the opportunity of serving as the best man at my best friend's wedding. It's a great honor and a privilege to speak about my friend that I've known over a decade and tell about how great, how awesome of a man of God he is. After the wedding, it got me thinking about what does it mean to be the best man? And I don't mean in a wedding ceremonial type. And I'm not talking about the 1999 movie that came out called The Best Man or its sequel that hit movie theaters in 2013. What I'm talking about is being the best man. I'm talking right now to all the men that are watching this video. I also had this great conversation with a couple of the guys while getting ready for this wedding I was at this weekend for my best friend. And we had a great conversation, and really, we talked about a lot of different things. And, in talking with them, it really got me thinking about what does it mean to be the best man? What does it mean to be a man, but not only a man, the best man? As a father, I know that being a man means being the man I want my daughter to grow up to aspire to be with. As a father, being the man means being the example for the person I want my son to grow up to be like. I want, when people see me, I want them to say, that's someone I can aspire to. That's somebody who lives every day giving their all. Their integrity, they're credible, they're dependable, they have these great attributes. I want to be that man. That's what it means to be the best man. Because in today's society, men, we're failing at our jobs. We're failing, and I don't mean our job at Checkers or McDonald's or as CEO of a company. I'm talking about as the leaders of our houses, the leaders in our finances, in our relationships, in our time, in our talents, in our resources. We are not upholding what God has set for us. We're not living up to the standard that God has called each and every man to live up to. There are hundreds of thousands of kids who are fatherless, though the dads may still be alive. There are young women who are searching after the wrong type of man because they were abandoned by the father figure in their life. We have young boys who are angry and mad because there was no one there to set the example for them, a good example for them to aspire to. Man, we have to do a better job. Being a man doesn't mean going off and having so many women that you sleep with. It doesn't mean walking around with your pants hanging off your butt. It doesn't mean going around killing another man or having your colors red or blue or whatever. Being a man doesn't mean that, you got tattoos up and down your arm of how many people you killed. Or being a man definitely doesn't involve you going to jail and doing 10 to 15 years and coming out saying, yeah, I'm a man, I earned my stripes. No, you didn't. You think you did, but you haven't. Being a man doesn't mean having a felony record. It doesn't mean having baby mamas all over the place. It doesn't mean being on welfare. It doesn't mean what you think it may mean. It doesn't mean cussing. It doesn't mean hitting your woman. It doesn't mean having lots of money and 5 cars in your house. It doesn't mean smoking weed every day. It doesn't mean doing drugs all the time and posting them to YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and of you smoking weed and getting high and going to the club. No, that's not what being a man is. Being a man means taking responsibility, taking the mantle of setting an example that people want to follow in a positive light. Being the best man means putting away childish things and deciding that it's time to grow up. It's time to change the world around me. It's time for men to start training the future generation. It's time for us as men to stop trying to be the next American Idol, to stop trying to be on the VMAs or the next big rap star or country singer or what have you. We need doctors, we need lawyers, we need teachers, we need men in the classrooms who are making a difference in the lives of young men and young women. We need more doctors. We need more people, more men in positions where we can be seen, because we are a dying breed. We are falling behind. We are not living up to the standard that God has set for us as men, to be the head of our households, to be praying over our families, to be leading our families in the vision God has laid out for you. We are the ones who are to be making the decisions boldly and confidently, leading those around us, those that trust us, into the direction where they can be happy and successful and peaceful. Being the best man doesn't mean coming home drunk every night. Being the best man doesn't mean staying out till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Being the best man doesn't mean coming home and letting your kids sit in front of the TV while you go in the back and watch porn. Being the best man doesn't mean ignoring your children, ignoring your family. Being the best man doesn't mean what you think it means. Men, it's time for us to step up to the plate and be the best man. It's time for a change. It's time for us to aspire to something better than ourselves. It's time for us to put down this foolishness. And it's time to grab hold of our manhood, to grab hold of our calling, our destiny. It's time for us to be the best man we are called to be. I'm calling all our men out. We are an endangered species. And it's time for us to step up to the plate. I pray this message finds you well. I hope that if you're watching this as a man, I hope you take up the mantle, take up the charge, because the world needs us. They need men who are bold and confident to say, you know what? It's time for me to be the father to my children. It's time to be the husband to my wife. It's time for me to be the leader at my job. It's time for me to take a role in my church. It's time out for all the foolishness, clubbing and drinking and smoking and wife beating and cheating and adultery and all those things that keep us in the dark, that keep us from being the example that these women out here need, to being the father that these daughters need, to being the man of the house that these boys need. It is time out for all this foolishness that keeps us from being respected in our home. It's time out. It's time for all this foolishness that keeps us from our wives from talking to us. It's time out for us to continue thinking that men aren't supposed to cry. I'm trying to tell you, because women find that men who are in touch with their sensitive side, who are willing to be vulnerable in aspect, find that very appealing. It is time out for all the lies that we have been feeding ourselves. Yes, it's okay for a man to cry. Yes, it's okay for a man to be vulnerable. Yes, it's okay for a man to admit he's sorry. Yes, it is okay for a man to make mistakes. It's time for us to step up to the plate, fellas. It's time for us to stop letting our homes be ran by, and I apologize if this offends you, but it's time for us to stop being led by our women. We're supposed to be leading the pack. We were set in place to set the standard in our homes, not the women. And I don't care what gender roles are and the way the gender roles are being played out today, but you as a man, set the tone for your household. You set the tone. If you want to be respected, then you must respect the unity of your wife, that you have with your wife. You must love her just as Christ loves the church. If you want her to fall out your vision, you can't beat her over the head saying, because I'm the man, you have to do what I say. It doesn't work that way. If you want to be well respected, then you're going to have to keep your hands violently off your wife. If you want your daughter to not bring home some knucklehead fool that you don't approve of, then spend time with your daughter so that she can see the man that she should be thriving to have when she grows older. You want your son to be a man's man? Then I tell you to take the time, play games with them, take them outside, go hunting, wrestle, do guy stuff, go bowling, take them to sports events, do something with your sons. And every once in a while, when you're at home with your wife, walk up to her. Don't say anything, just walk up to her, kiss her on the mouth and say, baby, I love you, and walk off. Or if your thing is, walk up behind her, slap her in the behind and keep on going. Do it. Send her flowers at her job. Just show up and have lunch for her. Or when she gets off work, have her come home, her clothes are laid out with a little note saying, hey, put this on, I'll pick you up and get ready. You have 40 minutes or an hour or 2 hours or however long it takes you to get ready. But whatever he says, do it. Be the head. Take charge. Be the best man you were called to be. That's my encouragement to you, all the men that are watching this video right now. I hope that if this touches you, please share this with somebody that you think could benefit from hearing this. Please do. I also encourage you to follow me online. You can connect with me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. You can subscribe to this channel. I also love to check out my church, New Beginnings Ministries, Milledgeville. The website is on the bottom of the screen here. I also will put a link in the description. We have a budget, a goal we're trying to meet of $8 million. We're trying to reach to plant here in our local city. Yes, you heard me correct. $8 million. And we would love for you to partner with us. Or if you know somebody that would be willing to partner with us. Check us out. See what we're all about. I have the links on our GoFundMe or PayPal account on our webpage. If you believe that God is leading you to sow into this ministry, we would love for you to do so. Because we're trying to change lives. We're trying to get young men to be the best man they can be. And that's just one aspect of this ministry. I pray this message finds you well. I pray that it finds you blessed and highly favored. I'm Clifton. This is Cliff Notes. Class dismissed.